Dennis, I see, I can't be ugly, yeah? I'm a woman. Well, no, women can be ugly, and you are one of them. One of the ugly ones. You're lanky and your hair's, well, it looks like a wig. Yeah? What's going on? Is it a wig? Doesn't matter. Your time's up.
There's a great pleasure in a man's life. Not many for men today. That's why a lot of dudes follow me. And that pleasure is when a woman that you love and you took care of and you treated like gold and you acquiesced to every one of her whims and desires like she was a goddamn terrorist with a nuke. You know, yes, dear. Okay, dear. You know, you just get neutered after a while. And then she leaves you for a guy that treats her like absolute garbage. It's one of the best things on the planet because you're watching karma unfold. But I don't really believe in karma because nothing good really comes of it for me. Doesn't matter what I do. I get high and I pass out, wake up, found out I gave hundreds of dollars to like a children's charity. And literally they called me 5 days later looking for more money. It was like I just gave money to a crackhead. Like, what happened to money I gave you 5 days ago? We could use some more. What do you think I'm going to get it from? Mama Susan don't want to pay me. Anyway, I saw this on Twitter from one of my favorite Twitter accounts, journalists posting their L's. This one's fantastic. Turn up the cheat. All women should have an affair once in their life. It made me feel sexier and look younger.
No, I don't.
It's amazing to me that there's so few women that can write fantasy stories and novels when they can write journalistic shit like this. This broad is living in a Tolkien-esque level fantasy story. Because when you look at her, she looks like Danny DeVito in a wig.
Do I look suspicious?
You don't believe me? Go get a picture of Danny DeVito and put like a wig on him. Photoshop it. I don't care. I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying it, but it's the truth. If you think having an affair is an absolute no-go for you, think again. You're massively missing out. Nothing beats the buzz of sneaking around behind a partner's back or the rush of the adrenaline from the fear of being caught in the act. I would like to preface this by saying Rachel is now 46 years old and she's still searching for the one, but wouldn't rule out cheating again.
I think it'll work.
You gotta be out your damn mind. If you found a dude to take you as you are now and you cheated on him, you have a mental disorder. It'd be like literally getting a winning lottery ticket and then immediately throwing it in the trash. Hello, Fluffy. Every woman should try at least once in their lives. More than a quarter of women who cheat feel more attractive, and 22% feel younger, according to a study by Affairs website. I can't even, illicitencounters.com. Really? You took this information from a website called Illicit Encounters. Why don't I go to Heroin Addicts R Us and have them give me skewed information about how doing heroin is actually healthy for you and it gets you through the day? And that comes as no surprise to me. My affair made my skin glow and I felt both youthful and energized.
Your thoughts?
What? I don't need Botox or a gym membership when I had my bit on the side. You're now 46 years old and single and built like a pear. Like, don't take any relationship advice from this woman if you're a female. Don't. All right, because then you'll end up like her. And that's what she wants. She wants other women who are staring 50 years old and single in the face like a barrel of a shotgun to also be single and alone. That way she'll feel less alone. I'm 100% sure when she sees married couples happy with kids or something, she sits there and laments, did I make a mistake? And then she reaffirms to herself, probably for all her spinster friends, no, these are all just patriarchal ideas beaten into our heads. It's another society misnomer like gender. I love that they put out a photo of Rachel and her ex. And this has got to be like from at least 20 years ago. Fun nights out were rare for Rachel and her ex. Let me guess. He probably worked his ass off and did all he could for you. And this is a beauty that most men, it's not a beauty, it's a nightmare. This is something most men have to deal with. And it's unrealistic expectations. It's where women want you to earn a living preferably more than them. If you make more than a woman, usually more often than not, this is from personal experience. I don't want to hear shit from you. But when I made less money than the chick I was dating, they usually left me and found it as a problem for them. So you have to earn a living, earn more than her, but you also have to be fun, outgoing, and ready to go places at the drop of a hat. It reminds me of something I saw on like a dating profile a while back. I remember this chick saying something absolutely asinine. I want a guy who's goal-oriented, but not a workaholic. It was the most, you can't be goal-oriented and not be a workaholic. Success doesn't come to people lounging in a chair, sending tweets all motherfucking day. Unless you're on TikTok and you get lucky for stealing a dance from a black child and you happen to be a cute white girl. Then you could be on Jimmy Fallon shaking your ass all night and act like you did it. That's the only exception. Point being, you know what I'm saying, dude. It's like, if you work too much, you're no fun, we never go out, blah, blah, blah. If you don't work at all, you don't have ambition, you got no drive, where's this going? Literally, as a man, you're damned if you do, and you're damn sure damned if you don't. I was in a steady but mundane relationship with James when my head was turned 4 years ago by a married man at work. Ah, lovely. This is going great. It was not as though I was looking to cheat, but after a year with James, the initial spark had fizzled out. Ah, damn you, James. Damn your stability. Damn your stability. Your stable lifestyle, James, you are selfish. You should have been a goddamn crack addict, James. James should have came home strung out with his shirt all messed up so she could go, where were you, James? I was out sucking for crack, Rachel, I'm sorry. Then she would have been like, we can fix it. I can change you. I can save you. In the early days, he lavished me with meals and fancy restaurants, bought me flowers and made me feel like the center of the universe. Because you know how some chicks are. They got to feel like the center of the universe. Women live off food, water, and compliments. Don't forget. What did you do for James? She's not going to tell you that. James don't fucking matter. James. He's a man. I had never met a man like him who was completely obsessed with my happiness. Okay, this is becoming like, this is very telling. I see why she's single at 46. Everything's about Rachel. Rachel's one of those girls where literally you have to do everything to make her happy. And the second you don't, it's an excuse to cheat on you and leave you. This is why she's single. And she will remain single the rest of her fucking life. Give it like 10 more years or 20. Rachel will put out another article. I really shouldn't have treated James the way I did. I now see that I am 60 years old and alone without children, sick and no one to care for me. Sexy underwear. Without warning, though cracks began to show, I couldn't put my finger on exactly when or why it happened, but the fun nights out became boring nights, and I felt invisible. When James did not have his head buried in his phone, he was on his game console. I was 38, and I could feel my youth and confidence slipping away. I gained about 2 stones in weight. What the fuck? That's like English speak for heavy. She gained 2 stones, love. She was quite big. So she gained 4 pounds. I see more than 4 pounds here. I gained about 2 stones in weight, finding comfort in chocolate and cake. Yet the more I tried to talk to James about how he's feeling, the more he clammed up. If I tried to spice up our sex life with sexy underwear and killer heels, he spurned my advances. I need proof of this. You could spurn a woman's advances by literally saying, "Oh, honey, I'm tired tonight." You know, that is all it takes. Believe me, I've been there. Sometimes I caught him looking at other women on the street. Yeah, that happens. You know, you look around. Sometimes a man has to survey the area because as a man, you are constantly under the threat of beatings and robbery. Just where I grew up. So when Andrew began flirting with me on a work night out, I felt flattered. He was 10 years younger than me, estranged from his wife. After a few drinks, we ended up back at his place, having incredible passionate sex which lasted longer than James's 10 minutes. Ah, yes. The classic phrase, he only lasted 10 minutes. I will require proof of this, madam. Because oftentimes women just say that just to be asked. I know some people are like, you're taking his side. Well, he can't speak for himself. I'm like being a lawyer right now. Objection. I never experienced a rush like it. And as we laid together afterwards, planning our next secret rendezvous, I felt alive for the first time in years. You ever thought about taking up a hobby? Rock climbing? Motorcycle riding? Nah, cheat. That's the thrill. Going back to face James afterwards was not easy, but having spontaneous, mind-blowing sex with Andrew was all I could think about, and it erased my guilt. Yes, you don't need to feel guilty. You are an amazing woman. I became meticulous about covering my tactics, and the prospect of being caught out became part of the thrill. Literally, her life was so boring that this was like her espionage move. For a hot minute, she felt like James Bond sucking someone else's behind a dumpster. What a thrill. Andrew and I met up whenever we could without raising suspicion. I put a lock code on my phone so James could not check my messages, and I always made sure it was on silent mode. I even concocted a story about how I had enrolled in an evening dress making course so I could get out of the house. And the dude trusted her, so he didn't bother asking questions. Like, okay, dear, we'll enjoy your dressmaking. I'm glad you're getting a hobby, honey. It's nice to see you going out and doing things without you constantly being up my ass about me making you happy. Because, honey, life is about, finding happiness within yourself. And then she's probably like, James, you're such a f***ing idiot. And this is why Andrew's amazing. He knows that I can't find happiness in myself, so I seek outward validation. You stupid idiot. Another time, I conspired with a friend who called me to arrange a night out while James was in earshot. And instead of meeting her, I went to see Andrew. Wow, you should probably join the British SAS. We wouldn't have any troubles with the Koreans or the Russians with you on the job. You're such a brilliant escape artist. Although the deceit made me feel guilty in the beginning, I pushed it aside. Sex with Andrew was fun and spontaneous, and I could not get enough, whether it was from a hotel room or in the back seat of his car. Didn't I call it? Basically, she was fun, and she loved every second of it. You see, the reason why it was fun with Andrew is because he could pound and then dump you. It's like you were his slam piece, and then you went on your way. Literally, that's it. You were his sex piece, and then James dealt with all the other BS. Food, shopping, clothes, cleaning the apartment. You literally were a snack. And for some reason, you didn't see it as degrading. And poor James. The dude's thinking his relationship's okay, and his woman's running around just pounding away. And then whenever she has a problem, I assure you, James heard about it. It wasn't Andrew who got, my mother died. Andrew didn't get that. James did. My uncle needs help moving his stuff from the loo. James got those messages. Andrew got, I am so horny right now. And maybe you're kind of an asshole. Dudes start to turn down sex with their girlfriends when the chick is just an asshole. Because believe it or not, we do have feelings. We just don't express them. One time we had sex in my living room in the middle of the day when James was out at work. Yeah, it makes sense. I drew the line at doing it in my and James's bed because changing the sheets would have made him suspicious. How much further do I have to go with this garbage? I love how she took these photos, and they're not flattering at all. There's nothing sexy here at all. It's like you literally just probably shot the last good dude you had in the foot, who probably would have stuck through your Danny DeVito phase, which is going to be the rest of your life. You can tell that the woman has no impulse control. She's now 46, and she looks like this, which means she doesn't exercise at all. The most exercise she gets is probably walking to and from her car. She doesn't practice any level of dieting. It's just all about her pleasure and enjoyment. Andrew made me feel young and sexy again, unlike James, complimented me constantly at a time when I needed it most, because it's pretty much about her feeling good. This is one of those women that want to just hear good things. Recent relationships have taught me this, sadly. It's where you think I've always been a show and not tell kind of guy. Oddly enough, Disney, Star Wars would benefit from this. I'll show you I care by doing stuff you need done. Now the car isn't working. Get to it. I need money to fix this. Here it is. I need help with this. There we go. I don't understand this. I'll figure it out for you. If I don't care about you, I ain't helping you with a thing. At all. I remember this one chick was like, because I wasn't dating her or banging her or anything. And she was like, I need $1,500 to stay in my apartment. I wish someone would lend me the money. I'm like, I hope you get it. Because you damn sure ain't getting it from me. Like many women, as they get older, I became insecure about my body and needed a boost. Or you could, I don't know, diet and exercise. It'll prolong your life. I bought lacy lingerie from Ann Summers. Became careful to destroy the receipts. I'm guessing it's became, but it says began careful. Maybe it's an English phrase. And we had the type of wild passion sex you see in films. Going beyond the missionary position and getting out of my sex comfort zone was invigorating. I lost all my inhibitions when we were together. So basically, James only got the missionary position all the time? That was it? And you wonder why James wasn't like chomping at the bit for a little extra action? It's like, hey, honey, let's do the missionary position again and again and again for the next couple. What? But the new guy comes in and you just do everything he wants. He probably got to stick pineapples in her ass. And she's like, oh my God, I'm a wild child. In time, Andrew patched things up with his wife and called time on our affair.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
Like I said, she was a slam piece. The second things were good with his wife again, you were out the door. It had lasted 3 incredible months. 3 months. So you ruin a long-term, stable relationship for 3 months of being a dude's mistress. I missed the rush and the endorphins. And by this time, my relationship with James was sexless and dead. Yeah, because you were having sex with someone else and never at home. How do you not see this killing relationship? 3 months on, and after 2 years together, James ended things too. James probably figured out you're cheating on him. Like, there's no way in hell you think just getting rid of receipts, the dude is going to notice some lingerie somewhere at some point. And he's like, she's off with somebody else. She's an asshole. That's pretty much what it came down to. And the dude had enough cojones to let her go. So God bless you, James. Sometimes dudes can't let go. And she didn't care. She honestly thought she could do better. So she let James leave. Sometimes chicks around, then realize they f***ed up and then cling on to the guy they let go of like grim death and won't let him leave. Showing up to where the f*** he lives and shit like that. You know, if you're a guy, you've been there. He had no idea about our affair, or if he did not show suspicions. Yeah, he was getting his ducks in order. Maybe he was getting his kicks elsewhere too. Maybe not. I did not fall apart when our relationship ended because my affair with Andrew had shown me that I deserved better. Ah, yes. You were with a man who was married, having trouble with his wife, and had an affair with him to be a slam piece for 3 months. Does that really mean you deserve better? Like, because you weren't treated better. You were literally just a piece of ass. And the second things were good with his wife, you were out the door. Somehow, this woman has an article and can't even realize she was being used. Hey, whatever.
Drag her, slay her, sipping on that true tea, hunty. Gag.
Although I have been on dates since, I am 46 now and still searching for the one, which has been tough during the pandemic in a small place like Patterson. Yeah, it's over, honey. Like, they say the wall destroys them all. I say the wall only gets some women. Like, I know some guys sit there and say that about Twitch dots and stuff like that. And it's like, no, those girls on OnlyFans and Twitch are going to be millionaires by the time they're old. So it won't matter. They'll get a young guy. But chicks like this, like, she didn't just hit the wall. She obliterated that motherfucker. And I'm not trying to be mean, but with the pandemic, you being 46 and looking like Danny DeVito in a wig, I don't suspect you're going to find the one. That time has passed. You know, like, what are you doing? I tell you this, by that age, most decent dudes are already married to some chick. Of course, I would much sooner be in a happy relationship with a man who fulfills all my needs and worships the ground I walk on. But I would not rule out cheating again. So women, never say never to infidelity, because if you are being taken for granted and your fellow will not listen, then it's fair game. Men cheat all the time, so why can't we? But that's like you're making a generalization. How do you know men cheat all the time? That's most likely not true. 2, you want a guy to worship the ground you walk on, but If you found a thrill in some other guy to screw, you would do it and cheat again. Good luck with being alone the rest of your life, because I foresee that in your future. Talk about, this is, wow. Fucking wow. I'm still looking. I'm 46. The train has left the station. The conductor is looking at you like, why are you still here? Go home.